I can create whatever account or whatever blog I want and just make stuff up, and people read it and go, oh, well, that person obviously knows what's going on because I distrust this organization. The biggest thing that we do probably every year is, which obviously is timely, is our outbreak, our Operation Outbreak. We decided to do this, and it was based on, actually, I think it might have been your class, Grace, that it was really, we were studying government at the time, and when Ebola hit in 2014-15, we had a lot of questions and a lot of people asking things, and we got to the point where it's like, you know what, let's integrate what we're learning into this and figure out what we can do and how to do it. And then let's escalate it by now creating an outbreak on our own campus and seeing how that goes. But now we're living it, and I remember us talking about this. The 100-year cycle is coming, and now we're here.
So I've been to the outbreak. Well, I actually participated in it 7th grade and then 8th grade, and then I visited a few times after that. But I remember when all the stuff started happening with the coronavirus and we were hearing rumors in the beginning, and then it started getting more serious, and then the government started taking it seriously. It was so crazy to see how some of the things that we had done were playing out for real. Because so my 7th grade year, I was the vice president, for the government section. And the balance of all the different groups that are in power to try and keep the people that really don't have all of the information that other groups have at bay, and let them still feel like they have freedom, but make sure that the virus is not spreading rampantly, is a very hard balance. Because that the epidemiologists and all the people that are working to stop the virus realize that we need to get rid of a lot of stuff to stop it, but then people don't want to lose their freedoms in the process.
I was a part of the media team in my 8th grade year when we had it in the late school year. And it was really interesting to see how in our simulation, the media tried to get accurate information out there, but it was difficult for them to get the information because it seemed like they were last on the totem pole. But then coming back this year to visit, it was completely different because there was some citizens taking the news into their own hands and spreading the falsified information like in Contagion. As time goes on, it gets confusing and it's a lot more difficult for the media to actually get the truth out there to the people.
A very interesting thing I noticed my year was everyone was trying to fight the virus together, but everyone sort of had their own idea on how to do it. So because everyone thought they knew best, no one would listen to each other, which caused a lot of chaos. This was sort of what I'm noticing now in real life. Everyone thinks they know what's the best way to handle this thing, but in reality, you should be trying to work together in order to combat this thing, but it's not happening, which causes disruption, stuff like that. That's something I noticed that I thought was very interesting.
Something that I noticed was that communication was really key for chaos to not really spread around as much, I guess you can say. And I feel like it was something that shows how we all really need each other, especially in these times. And like Bradford said, people really tend to have their own different ideas and think that, oh, my way is best. And that it's just really important that we all stick together during these times and try and communicate together to solve the problem and get it over it.
I remember last year, like Donna was saying about chaos. Last year was really chaotic. Not last year when I visited. I mean, my 8th grade year when I did it, that was really chaotic because nobody would really trust each other. Everybody was just running away and going against each other. But when I visited my 9th grade year, it was a lot more organized and I feel like people got along better. That's how we should be now. Instead of getting all worked up about the COVID-19, we should be more calm about it. Maybe that'll help the situation.
Yeah, it's funny, Dr. Sabetti and Dr. Kalubri and some other people, Molly and stuff, that are on our team that are part of the outbreak team that developed this. We talk about it all the time and we see things that happen right now and go, oh, we did that in 7th grade. Human behavior is human behavior. Just because you're older or just because you have more knowledge, you would think that something would change. But, when it comes down to it, And it goes back into Inspire with Dr. Zimbardo, just because I had him on my head when we were talking. We talked about it, right? You have the powerful and the powerless. They'll do an awful lot of things to go from powerless to powerful, whether that's lying, spreading misinformation, not trusting people, doing whatever they think they're going to do, and they don't care what anybody thinks. And it also goes into the effect, and we talked about this in a meeting the other day, social media and the internet is the killer of expertise, because now, whereas before, the only way to have a valid opinion on a topic as a citizen, I would have to write a letter or something like that and send it into a magazine or a newspaper or a TV station. And believe it or not, it would have to be, I would have to be literate, I would have to be, coherent, and I would have to actually provide evidence that is traceable and understandable. And people would vet that before they even put it on the air in a newspaper. Now, I can create whatever account or whatever blog I want and just make stuff up, and people read it and go, oh, well, that person obviously knows what's going on because I distrust this organization. Before you know it, it's so hard for the media or the government. You have to take time away from what you're supposed to do to try to put out fires that other people have created. And that, that spreads you thin, and it just waters down everything. So, we have some really interesting stuff coming up once we get through this whole pandemic with the outbreak situation. What we've built that'll be out by June, and then the next version in August, it's unbelievable. I'm so blown away with who is involved and stuff. So, we'll always keep continuing to put out new iterations that are better and better and more experiential. So then you can take that stuff, and I'm hoping that almost all of you have at some point in this real pandemic gone, I can't believe you're believing this when this is actually what you should be looking at, things that you can take from school or lessons that really have that impact in life. So it's good that you're remembering that. That's so important.